Welcome to the Red Carpet Report, your backstage pass for celebrity book club picks, book adaptations, and new book releases. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Kirsten.
And we're your hosts. Today on the podcast, we have a pick party.
I love a pick party. It's my favorite episode of the month.
My favorite episode. But before we get into that, we have the Red Carpet Rundown.
Yes, we do. And there's lots of exciting book news. We have not yet had a chance to see The Devil Wears Prada 2, but we will report back. Instead, though, there are 3 incredible releases coming out. One that wasn't on my radar, Lord of the Flies, is coming to Netflix.
I know. Isn't that so funny? And I actually have been working with one of my students as a speech therapist. She's reading it in school. So I'm really excited to tell her that she should look at the adaptation and let me know what the changes are.
Although it is rated mature.
Is it?
I'm really interested to see it because this is a book that people, like you say, routinely study in school. So you would think that they would make it accessible, like PG-13, but it is MA.
Well, do you remember how brutal it is?
Oh yeah, it's gory. And I guess to read it is one thing, but to see it on the screen is like another.
It's a lot darker than I remember. Looking back and looking at some of the passages and reading it with an adult eye, it's a lot darker than I remember it being.
I believe that. This is not a classic that I enjoy, and I am a classic lover, but this was a one and done. I will never revisit it.
I feel like it's horror.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Yeah. I'll tell you what is my cup of tea, though.
Yes. Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Oh, yeah. That is a great one with Sally Field starring. It comes out by the time this episode airs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also on Netflix.
I'm so excited for this. I think that's going to be my Friday night.
I just think it is a great one. I know your daughter read it too, for even younger kids to read with a parent. And so I'm definitely watching this with my kids this weekend.
I can't wait to see how they did Marcellus's voice and
same. And how they animated him in a way that makes sense, but also on my radar. Coming out May 13th.
If there was any book news that is more Kirsten, I can't think of what it would be.
The Off-Campus series. Is that the one you were thinking of?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I was like, no, she wants the next one. That's the next one. But the Off-Campus series, which is also, if you know me, if you've been a longtime follower, I do not like traveling on airplanes. And so I read my smuttiest romances on the airplane because, you know, whatever you want to say, they will get you hooked from the beginning. So the Off-Campus series by Al Kennedy has long been a favorite of mine for a plane ride. And I guess after like heated rivalry and Bridgerton and all this other, you know, smutty things that have like kind of become TV shows, it's finally getting its due. And the first episode of the Off-Campus series is coming to Amazon Prime. And they are planning to do it the same way as the series, like kind of like Bridgerton, one series per book. I can't wait.
You've read them all, right?
I've read them all.
Yeah.
I love Al Kennedy's writing, but of all of the different books of hers that I've read, this series is by far my favorite.
I haven't read any of them, so I actually would watch it. So I'm interested to see what you think, how the book compares to the series.
The series is really funny. It's like romance and it's funny.
Okay.
Not quite as funny as the How to Date a Douchebag series, which is also a college romance, smutty romance series. This is really my forte. My subgenre of plain reading is smutty college romance books, okay? This is what I like. And but it's really, really good. Okay. And the relationships feel genuine and like true to college life. And yeah. Anyway, but now the real.
Really? It's true to college life?
Like drinking and partying and kids making dumb mistakes and like athletes being, you know, it feels accurate. Yeah, it feels like somewhat accurate. Not that everyone meets their forever love in college, but
got it.
Yeah.
So yeah, the real Kirsten news is Queen Camilla came to the United States.
She did.
And who did she meet with?
And she met with Jenna. Like, talk about 2 book clubs colliding. She met with Jenna Bush Hager, who she'd met before when Queen Camilla came during the Bush presidency.
Right.
And they met at the New York Public Library with like Sarah Jessica Parker, who also has a book imprint. And they talked about the Queen's Reading Club.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called the Queen's Reading Room, and it used to be a book club, and now it has become a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And funny enough, that's what we're going to be talking about next week.
That's right. We already have the full list of her stuff
Yes.
up on the website. We've had it up there for a while. And this is an episode that I've like long wanted to get into because I just don't think that American readers are even aware of this.
And I love that the two of them bonded over reading. We're talking about reading. They did it at the New York Public Library, which I think you already said, which is such an important space. And I love that.
Both fierce advocates for reading, and I love to see them together. I love to see them together.
Royalty on all ends, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, it's American royalty and English royalty.
Yeah. And the fact
and book royalty.
Yes, and the fact that they were talking about, if you haven't seen, you can see they're talking about meeting again. So how many people get to meet the Queen multiple times? And I think this was the first time that they've been to the United States in a really long time. And it was the first time they've been here since they were married.
And like as king and queen, because
Yeah.
that's been, a short time period too.
Yeah.
So very cool stuff all around. And that leads us right into the pick party. We may as well just start with Jenna since we're already talking about her.
So Jenna picked this month Color Unknown by Gillian McAllister. So I actually read it, and it's an interesting book. I feel like Gillian McAllister really often has a theme in her books of like, what would a parent do for their child?
Yes.
So Wrong Place, Wrong Time was about that.
And it was a Reese Witherspoon book club pick. So it's kind of surprising that she was chosen again by Jenna.
Yes, it was really surprising, and also for a very similar premise. So there's no time travel with this one, but it is about a mom who's going on vacation with her daughter, and she wakes up in the morning after the first day they got there, and her daughter is gone. And there is a note that's basically telling her she has to do something in order to get her daughter back. What would she continue to do in order to get her daughter back safely? So I thought it was a good read. It was really enjoyable.
Was it your favorite, Gillian McAllister?
No.
I knew that.
No,
I knew
wrong.
the answer.
Wrong Place, Wrong Time was one of my favorite thrillers, I think, of all time. So just because it was similar in nature, I like the other one better. But that's not to say that this one wasn't great.
It's so interesting to me because, and we're going to get into this for the rest of May, but normally May is a season of gearing up for beach, summer reading. And aside from like the GMA YA pick, which maybe we'll talk about next, the rest of them are really not summertime reads. They're just
A little bit
heavier, a little more mysteries, a little more thrillers, which I just don't think about for like May in general.
Yeah, it's interesting. Although I did absolutely love the GMA pick.
Okay, well then let's talk about GMA.
Okay, perfect. So the adult pick for GMA for May was Homebound by Portia Lamb.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this book.
The cover, by the way, haven't read it, but the cover is stunning. It's like it's clouds, it's pinks and blues, and just it sucks you in. The cover just makes you want to read it.
Yes, which the story itself is a little bit heavier than the cover would suggest.
Okay.
So I think if Cloud Cuckoo Land and Tomorrow had a book baby, it would be this.
That sounds like I am checked out.
There are parts of this that you would love because there's a big part about it that is about the environment, and it goes from the 80s to the near future, like the 2090s, I think, and then further in the future. And it starts in the 80s with a video game. In the near future, there's a scientist and she is trying to find different ways of saving the planet. And she's created these automatons that could go into the environment and collect data to try and
Okay.
save wolves and stuff. And then it's further in the future when we were not successful. And there is a woman on her ship. It's a very, very well written. I loved it, but it may not be for everybody.
Got it. Got it. Okay. All right. It's kind of giving me like dream state vibes too with the environmental. And there was another one, it's called like the Greenwood or something that was also very like tree environmental that like depressed me. So I think I'm gonna stay away from this one.
Either people are going to read it and love it, like I loved it, or people are going to read it and be like, I don't vibe with this.
Well, I did read the GMA YA.
And is it an actual YA?
And I do vibe with it.
Okay.
I vibe with it. It is a YA romance. Drum roll, please.
And it's not a fantasy.
It is not a fantasy. And it is set at a lake in the summertime. So it's our one and only beach read. It's Change of Plans by Sarah Dessen. And essentially, a girl whose mother is estranged from her picks her up for her yearly like summertime trip. And there's a change of plan, and they have to go to this lake house that she didn't even know that her mother grew up going to.
Okay.
To meet her mother's sisters, who she's not familiar with. Over the course of that week, she breaks up with her boyfriend, some other things happen, and all of a sudden she's sort of like, what am I doing with my life? She's learning more about her mom and why her mom is the way that she is. She's connecting with her mom's side of the family.
Okay.
There's another little side romance.
How long is she at the lake for?
I believe she's supposed to go home and then she doesn't go home.
Okay.
And there's reasons for that, but it's lovely. It's like,
nice.
it reminds me of a Carly Fortune-esque for younger kids. So it's set at the lake. You've got this really fun setting. You're meeting people in the area. You've got a romance.
Love that.
But it's age appropriate. It is age appropriate. But also I enjoyed it as an adult.
And for what age?
Probably 13, 14.
Oh, okay.
There's some mention of like, underage drinking, but there's no like sexual content that makes me uncomfortable. I think it was like kissing,
Great. I love to have books that we can recommend, especially as kids are going to go to camp and a lot of times they're allowed to bring books, and the only electronic device that our kids are allowed to bring to camp is a Kindle.
Mm-hmm.
So I love to be able to recommend some books that are appropriate for teens. So we don't know the Reese YA yet because we're filming this on Monday and it's not going to go out until Thursday, and we probably will know on Tuesday.
Or as usually happens, the second we stop recording, we will get a text. It's like, hey, I have the Sunny Reads pick.
Yeah. So we don't know that, but we do know the Reese.
It's The Fine Art of Lying by Alexander Andrews. And it's set on the Upper East Side, which is my personal favorite setting in New York because that's where I have friends that I like will go and visit. And I feel like it's the only area of New York that's calm and relaxing. And I like know my little like 10-block radius for when I go to visit. Like I know my coffee shop and I know like where my like bakery is. And so it's the only part I can really visualize. So I tend to like stories set in this area. But essentially this woman is in like the Upper East Side, like the highfalutin Upper East Side. And she's a fish out of water. She was writing her PhD dissertation for art when she got married, and she's like kind of been sucked into her husband's affluent world. And while she's there, his boss, his wife, ends up introducing her to gallerists and artists, and all of a sudden kind of like sucking her into her art world where she's starting to feel herself again until she finds a painting that's been missing that was done by an artist that she was about to write the dissertation on, the unfinished dissertation. And then there's a murder at the scene. So all of a sudden she's in like the underbelly of the art scene. It looks like a very dark mystery.
Oh, okay.
Again, it's like a mystery thriller suspense situation. It's about art, which I love that it's, about art. Seems like that is trending recently, which I love. Yeah, but it's again kind of surprising that this was a choice for Summertime.
Interesting.
Because Reese tends to choose the lighter, beachier. If anyone was going to choose,
A light one.
I would have thought it was Reese.
Yeah, because she's chosen some romances in the past.
Mhm.
Maybe next month.
Maybe.
I'm going to give Oprah a total free pass this time. This is not a beach read because last month she chose a beach read.
Right. She stepped outside of her comfort zone
So happy.
last month, and now she's like, I'm back. she's there with John of John by Douglas Stewart.
Which is something about sheep.
It's about John has returned home from his artistic endeavors to his family's sheep farm, and he has to decide what to do with his life while shearing sheep. And she pretty much lost me at sheep. I was reading I'm like, I'm not reading this one. It's just not. I'm not doing it.
Doesn't sound like it's for me,
No.
but that doesn't mean it doesn't sound like a very interesting and unique book.
And Douglas Stewart has won awards for his writing before. So he, is a famed writer. I just am not into the world of sheep shearing.
Oprah does always choose books that are very well written.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
They're
Absolutely.
always so well written. It's just sometimes the topics can be a little difficult.
Now, in fairness, I think he's come back to his family's farm. He's stuck between his dad and his grandmother, and they have like warring beliefs. And he's a gay man, and that's maybe not what his family's beliefs are. So can he be supported? Can he find love and still be like part of this family? Like it's just, I think there's some like serious struggles at the root of this, but literally at sheep, I was like, I'm out. No, thank you.
Okay.
But I was shocked because there's a new Elizabeth Strout coming out, and I would have assumed automatically, because whenever one of those comes out, I was like, that's going to be the Oprah pick for sure.
100%. And it's not.
No.
Katie Kirk chose it.
Go ahead, Katie. So, they're all like interwoven together at this point.
I feel like everybody's confusing me. Like Oprah's shocking me because she's not choosing the books that I think she's going to choose. And now Katie is going with backlist. Katie's going with new books.
Brand new. I can't keep track of Katie. Are we going to get a logo? Are we going to get a sticker? Are we going to get like announcements? Because she did announce it before it came. I'm all over the place with Katie. I don't know what she's doing.
Either do I. I want to see where it's going to go because I feel like with everybody else, we know the kind of books that they're going to pick. And I thought we had an idea with Katie, but then she's switching it up a lot.
Definitely. And I think my overall feeling on May is not that each book individually is not a good choice. It's just collectively, it feels like a very dark, it feels like a fall month.
Yes, I was about to say, this feels like September or October for sure.
Yeah. It just doesn't, like the overall feel just doesn't fit the season. And so I'm just trying to grapple with my disappointment, not in the books that have been chosen, but in the season in which they're being chosen. If that makes sense.
And no, it does, because I just did the September new releases. Okay. And these books vibe with that because September, we're like getting into fall and there's more fantasy and dystopian and the only romances we're seeing are fall and thrillers and mystery.
And holiday season.
Holiday. We did have a few holiday books on there, but these seem to fit more in with that than the books that were coming out in May.
Yeah. So it feels like an odd month to me.
Yeah.
But there we go. So can we switch gears? Can you give us a bookmark that is of the season, please?
I'm so excited. I read this weekend Carley Fortune's new book. It's Our Perfect Storm. And I absolutely loved it.
It's out now.
This is a different setting for Carley.
No more Barney's Bay.
No, but she had done one in Prince Edward Island, and this one takes place primarily in a small island off the coast of British Columbia called Tofino.
Oh.
And
I've never heard of that. Have you heard of it? You're a Canadian.
I actually had not, and I had to go look it up, probably because it's very fancy.
Oh. It's like the Palm Beach of Canada?
Like fancier.
Like the Hamptons of Canada?
Probably, but it's more rainforest and outdoor. It looks stunning. I'm trying to convince my kids, actually, that I think we should take a trip there.
Forget them. Sign me up. Get me a ticket. Let's go.
Frankie and George have been best friends since they were really young, like 8 or 10 years old. When George came to live with his grandmother, Frankie was always looking for something exciting. They became best friends. And so throughout, you do see flashbacks to when they were younger. Frankie is engaged, and 2 days before her wedding, her fiance breaks it off with a letter. So not the nicest way to break it off. And she ends up deciding to go on her honeymoon with George to kind of help her heal. And it becomes, obviously, I don't think I'm spoiling anything, a friends to lovers romance. It is slow burn. It was just fantastic. I loved every minute. She is also a chef. So the conversations about food were like mouth-watering. So it was like food and like the gorgeous like atmosphere, and the two of them are like funny and quirky, and they argue, and I loved it so much. It was so good. This is a book that you should pick up and read, maybe even before the beach. Just pick it up.
She always brings the butterflies. I always feel butterflies when I'm reading her stories. They feel so natural and so wonderful. I'm so glad you highlighted it this week.
I love her writing. She's Canadian, by the way, which...
Of course she is.
Obviously, because everything takes place in Canada, but I love that part of it too. Fun fact, because I'm going to Prince Edward Island this summer, I'm going to just keep talking about that because I'm so excited. One of her books takes place on Prince Edward Island. And if you go onto the Prince Edward Island tourism website, you can take a tour of everywhere that she mentioned and all the like restaurants and everything.
That's so fun.
Isn't that so much fun? Yeah. So they have that with Anne of Green Gables too, but I love the fact that she is on the tourism PEI website.
That's great. I love that. So that's our episode. We do have the reader question, which next week we're going to talk about Queen Camilla's reading room. So we'd love to know if you've ever even heard of it, because I don't think many Americans have, but we're going to link in the show notes the entire list of the books that she's chosen. But take a look, because you'll see some modern favorites, some classics, some probably unknown stories to you. And we want to know what is your favorite or a few of your favorites from her list. So we'll see you next week. Like, follow, and subscribe, and maybe even share us with a friend.
Happy reading.